welcome back to the channel, food. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for videos like this.
Oh, I'm recording. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm getting this on video. Wait, what? I had over 60.
Dead. That water out of the faucet is dead. See, the important distinction, I don't know if you made it, is between living water and dead water. And all the water that we drink, bottled water, faucet water, is dead. It has no structure. The structure that it did have at one point is lost because it's not stable.
In the reservoir where they source the water's alive. It's alive. It's in great shape. But the problem is, then they pipe it. They put it in a pipe which restricts its movement.
And that will destroy the structure.
Then they put it in a water treatment facility where they throw in the phosphated chlorine and the chemicals and the fluoride.
So not only is it dead, but it's got toxic chemicals in the dead water. The worst possible thing you could do would be to drink water from a faucet.
Vecna play no games, only nightmares.
That's the part of security they don't show y'all, man. When the building closed, and you gotta walk in this mud and it's dark as hell. I promise you, something come up out of here, I'm beating the shit. See that? You heard that? I'm already done. I'm already done.
Poorly rehearsed or real fight, you tell me.
This door keeps on opening and closing. Like, there's nobody here. I'm not doing the sensor, but it keeps on opening and closing. And I'm alone. I'm alone.
Where's the purse, right? And Japan did in fact have an earthquake. Wild.
Open it. Come up there.
Give me the screwdriver. You close it back up.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well...
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few more blemishes on the car.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
The car is not perfect.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Got two different eyes.
How big a deal is that, and what do markets see in that?
Look, that one look like it's leaking.
For Trump's tariff,
Don't
which
like
is a
black
jacket
coming out of
tariff,
it.
bring people to the...
The only scenario that makes sense is she was smuggling a old dead body.
By another 150 every 12 hours, that's 300. So
Watch your eyes, guys.
Of the original 2,000 are not being used. $134 million, another $45 billion being spent on this glorifying parade tomorrow in Washington, D.C. of our military assets. That's That's nearly $200 million that is being, I would say, a very good subject for Doge to look at, because
Y'all see this? What in the new cycle Age of Aquarius is going on here in Mexico? This ain't snow, y'all. This is foam. Toxic foam. What you're looking at here is toxic foam floating around in the streets of Mexico. So after it's been raining some heavy rains in Mexico, both a dam and a river overflowed and it hit this water treatment center, and boom, now you have toxic waste, toxic foam all over the streets of Mexico. And yes, people are getting extremely sick from this. Eye irritation, coughing, they're getting inflammation all in their body, skin irritation, hives, and a lot of people have been hospitalized. So this specific town got foam. And in the other part of town, you got nothing but straight up dirty, murky, violent water that's pushing cars into Neverland, never to be seen again. This is crazy. And check this out. The water was so strong, it ripped through the local cemetery and literally unearthed the dead, y'all. Look at this. Oh my goodness, look at these cars, y'all. It looked like giants just threw them up. It looks like giants was playing with these. How symbolic is this, y'all? The dead is literally rising during this global cleanse. Didn't Jesus say that? The dead shall rise first? Y'all, just look at this. Look at the kind of water that Mexico has to deal with, y'all. Look, this is crazy. No wonder why people are getting sick. Water is literally cracking the whole world, y'all. This is literally what the Age of Aquarius is about, man. The water bearer. Y'all, there is an energetic purge going on, you guys, man. And this is crazy. That sky looks eerie as hell, man.
So, interesting fact, the cedar waxwing likes to eat berries and things off of trees. Problem being, in the southeast, in the wintertime, the sugar in the berries concentrates. And then when the weather warms up, it breaks the sugar down, fermenting the sugars, turning it into alcohol. Notice how this bird is just chilling and hanging out with a berry in his mouth? This bird is drunk off his ass right now.
In his mind, he already flew away.
What on earth is this right here, man? Like, who is that? Let's do a few celebrity comparisons today, right? Check out old Kathy, man. Look at the difference, man. Look at Rosie. I know y'all love Rosie, man. Then y'all's favorite is Miss L&D. Look at her now, man. Like, even her ears, she just looks different. I don't know. What do y'all think it is? Then we got the Zac Efron situation, man. See, a lot of people say that that's not even the same person. Him and him, that's not the same people, but I'm not saying that at all. Sure makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? I can't believe Lindsay Lohan, dude. Like, I think we're like the same age. Jeez, man. What did you do? I need to jump on that. Look at all that gray, man. Then you have others that go through such drastic changes that, you know, you just kind of know what happened, really. But it's all good, though. Speaking of drastic changes, man, what about Jeff Bezos and his wife? Have y'all heard about, like, what they've got going on now? I mean, that'll be part 2. But anyways, hold on one second. Had to show y'all this picture right here. LeBron checking out his style and his new little style, his little pose, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all have a good day.
We can't show these pictures yet?
No. You could take human skin cells and merge them with octopus DNA, and then, you know, octopus can actually change its color. So you can make a human skin cell be able to change its color and camouflage itself, kind of like the predator or something like that. Or you could take luciferase in this case and put it into any plant you want. You could make a plant glow in the dark. Let's say you have a shooting range. What's your number one problem? You're going to accumulate a lot of lead over time, right? And so what if you had plants that seeped it right out of the soil so it doesn't get into the water?
You had mentioned some early detection systems that these plants could be used
Yeah,
for.
sentinel plants. And so imagine your coal miner. What's your number one problem? You're worried about methane because it naturally leaches off the walls and you don't smell it. It's a silent killer. It explodes. So imagine a plant, a cave moss or something, and it doesn't glow unless there's methane, and when it does, it glows red. Called a sentinel plant. Right? And you can use this for military applications, for industrial applications, for environmental applications. It's just magic.
If the devil can't reach you, he'll send you a girl shorter than 5'7". She has anxiety, stomach issues, overthinks her entire life, and she has at least one A or an E in her name. And if she has both,
And who's cooked? Leave a comment.
Would do is move some of the gatekeepers out the way.
Who are they? Shout out to the gatekeepers. No,
What's their
because
name?
we keep talking about this, and we
Name
need to
them.
know who these people is. So who do you want us to call out? Because we'll call them out. It's not even a fact of calling out. It's just a simple fact of. But if we don't call them out, how do we get better?
No, that's how you get killed.
Exactly. Calling them out.
You think it's that
Calling
deep?
them
No,
out.
hold on, wait a minute. You think it's that deep in our space?
Yes.
And we say we bearers of the cross? That's why I'm confused. I want to make sure I'm hearing this clear. But we all know, man, we in this genre. We know who the gatekeepers are.
We, something opened up in the sky, and Uncle had whispered in the back. He was like, Tony, we going up. I promise you, I swear to God, I'm not crazy. We went out the sky. The firmament, you know how you always talking about the firmament? The world opened, the sky opened up, and we went out the sky. And after that, I ain't never been the same since.
Were you just on a hill?
I ain't never been the same since. No, I wasn't on no hill. We went out on a spaceship. We did something. I'm telling you, this is crazy for real. He is crazy for real. We really went out the sky. I'm telling you, we went out the sky.
What'd you get?
He back there smoking it. He back there smoking it. He's smoking it. Yes, I got out the hospital. That's what you get. My mama came up to me. She rubbed some holy oil on me. Every time I look at him, my face start burning.
Oh.
Now every time I look at him, my face start burning.
So I don't know.
Because he did some that he wasn't supposed to do.
I didn't do that to you.
It don't matter.
My mama put me in the hospital, mental hospital. He called me thinking I did it. Like I did something like what you do.
Yeah.
I didn't do you. Right? He was going up since we did our show. He think I put some kind of hex on him. I didn't do that.
This put a hex on me. This put a hex on me, so I went and got my cup, and I'm gonna be here every time. I'm gonna be here in every interview until I figure out what the is going on.
Y'all took some mushrooms?
Until this month. No, I didn't take no mushrooms. This was smoking mushrooms. Had the whole car smoking, and I'm up here inhaling all that.
That was weed.
Oh yeah, no it wasn't. No it wasn't. Because we went out the motherfucking sky. That was a spaceship.
No, I saw mama. This.
When y'all come down?
No, look it up. I guarantee you, you're gonna see that he been in the mental hospital like at least in the last 3 weeks. How many times?
After I started hanging around this.
Bob, how many times been in the middle? Be honest. How many times, Bob?
Yeah, Tony.
How many times, Bob?
Your mom was worried
They want to put me on medication. They want to put me
your
on
mom was worried about you. Your mom was worried about you, huh?
Yeah, she came. When I got out the mental hospital.
You see what Sophia do?
When I got out the mental, and we met somebody named Sophia at the weed store.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure out how.
Y'all think this content? There's not no content.
So then, this ain't no motherfucking content. I'm dead ass serious.
And we believe both of them.
What is it? Capturing this bizarre and brilliant ball of light moving across the horizon.
It's like a fireball, but not really. It's the wrong color.
They say the spectacle lasted about a minute and began with a bolt of lightning that struck just under a kilometer from their home. Ed Party says it spawned the display.
It was probably anywhere from 1 meter to 2 meters in diameter, so it was fairly large. And then, I don't know, about 20 feet above the ground.
The couple were amazed and scrambled to film it with a phone.
I was like, what is this? I've never seen this before. No, it was pretty neat.
A neat sight that had Ed immediately wondering if it was the mysterious thing he'd read about as a kid called ball lightning.
After we shut the video off and it disappeared, I'm like, oh, so that's what that looks like.
We've got this really bright light out here.
We asked longtime storm chaser George Karunas for his opinion.
If this is indeed ball lightning, this is one of the best ball lightning videos I've ever seen.
But he wonders if what we're seeing is the result of lightning hitting a power line and an arc of electricity traveling along it.
This exhibits all the characteristics of a persistent, slow-moving, arcing power line.
Ed and Melinda doubt that.
Definitely not.
No, it's a long ways away from a power line.
This is the truth. But this is also the truth. And this is the truth as well. Looks like the truth depends on your point of view. What a surprise.
Perception shapes the moment. Perspective shapes the meaning.
Make sense of all this? You ever bought a home with a hole? I advise go in it. No way, Jimmy. Oh my God, bro. Are you kidding me? Come out here.
this will be, fam, the most scariest home at night.
Oh, Jamie! Jamie, no! Oh my, no! Oh my God.
What do you know that most people don't?
Ask the question again.
What do you know that most people don't?
What I know is as follows. I know how to make you remove the veil from your third eye. That's what I know.
That silence was too loud.
I am not allowed to be in the rainbow picture.
And people my age, they can't even do this. Today, even younger people, full of starch.
You're strong.
I'm 77. I'm supposed to be strong. I'm an elder. I should not be sick and feeble.
Yeah.
And absent-minded. My mind is sharp. My crystal ball. Listen to me. Yeah, my brain is juicy.
So
it's not dried out with a whole bunch of fonio. And potatoes. I'm climbing coconut trees for my water right now.
You climbed the tree?
At 77.
You climbed the tree.
I'm not starch stiff. Elders, let's get our elders. Look, youths, come on.
Wow.
We have effed up.
You just amazed me the way you went down with your knees and just like, because there's people who are like, I'm in my early 50s. I have friends in their 30s, 40s who can't do what you just did. Like they'll go down and be like, can't get back up.
They starch stiff.
And
they full of starch. I don't eat starch now over 30 years.
So let me.
No grains, no beans, and no deep roots.
With this whole thing with ultra-terrestrials, Hal Puthoff, in his paper, Ultra-Terrestrial Models, he literally speaks to this. He's like, we're talking about the intelligence behind UAP phenomena, UFO phenomena. It could be extraterrestrial, but not extraterrestrial in the sense of some alien beings coming to Earth, like there's something so interesting about Earth, right? And they're so more far advanced. He's looking at it that from an external perspective, or an extraterrestrial perspective, they were homegrown Earthlings. From a previous time,
right?
From a previous cycle, that went out to the stars and are returning home.
Wow.
You see?
A lot of sense too.
Absolutely.
What happened to the guy holding the ladder?
When our world opens, that's the literal apocalypse, is the taking the cover away from. Our world is covered. When the cover is taken away, it is the apocalypso. That's where apocalypse comes from. It means away from, the covering, away from. So when the covering of our world, which is the dome and the firmament, opens up, you will see the stars fall in pink lines, which is kind of what this is, and that's a reference to, Stephen King's Under the Dome. This is plasma.
The next time I saw him was in the London Bridge. And inside the chambers that are beneath it, the foundations of it, they would set up throne room with a black throne, obsidian color black granite, but then it had this fine gold inlay, just beautiful. And it was like light almost emanated from it. It was just beautiful.
This was under London Bridge? Okay.
And there's an old world tunnel system to this gathering point that the United States military tapped into back in the 30s and 40s during World War II when they built what's called Site 6 in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It wasn't a city at all. It was just a desert. That is the cardinal point, a meeting place where the gods, these immortals, physically would meet and have parley. They would meet and interact there without threat of retribution and violence. They could have conversations there and make plans and renew covenants or break them at that site. That was a place where they would gather in the desert. So when Site 6 was built, they built in underground infrastructure to supply and resupply United States Army Air Base because the Air Force wasn't there yet. It was a rest and recuperation zone, a secret place where soldiers and pilots could come and rest. Site 6 is what it was named. It was a dot on a map, classified map. That's all it was. Robert P. McCulloch is who bought Site 6 from the military and from the state of Arizona. He bought the territory there. There was no lake. They built eventually what's called the Parker Dam. Parker Dam is what feeds the vast majority of water and electricity, not only to Phoenix, but over to Los Angeles. They built an entire tunnel system that takes that bloody infested water I just described to you. That's what people drink in these cities all over the West Coast that are in deserts. That's what people drink in Phoenix and Tucson. And they pump that water and that electricity, which is generated power from that iniquity. And they literally power up the world. That's their gathering place. When Robert P. McCulloch, he hired a man named C.V. Wood. This intermingles with the Jason projects and the people that are in Southern California that were doing secret scientific experiment projects on children and mind control operations. Wow. And they built a pleasure island in Lake Havasu City Lake, which is a sovereign territory of the city of London. It's an embassy for ambassadors. Different representatives of different nations can go there and are immune from prosecution, just like Disney World is in Florida. It is not United States territory. This is why when Governor DeSantis is trying to enforce taxes, they invoke a clause which says, oh, by the way, we're under the crown.
Yes.
Yeah, which crown? The red dragon. If you look at this, the heraldic symbol of the city of London, it is guarded by the red dragon.
If you look up 2050 Kerrville, where this happened, you look that up online, you will find a whole document and pages of their plan to redo this entire area on this riverfront. You know, we say this, you know, we want it, every time there's some kind of freak accident like this, freak flood that wipes everything out, they got to start over. You just go online and look up that area. Sure enough, you're going to find a smart city ready to be built. You know, they want to enhance everything. You know, they want to raise taxes to build all this stuff.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Is that the original? What is that?
So this right here is the first time I looked at the Pfizer vials with Dr. David Nixon under the microscope. So you see this metallic background noise, and no, this is not Brownian movement. These are actually biosensors. They're blinking lights that look like quantum dot technology. They change colors and they emit light. And they actually work to self-assemble this metallic structure here. And so then the next step from there was Dr. David Nixon had this drop of the Pfizer vial dry under the microscope, and it was developing microchips, including these connection cables that were considered by our electrical engineer and nanotechnology engineers that we consulted with as possible optical communication cables between these microchips. So then what happened was that in the vaccinated blood, unusual structures were being seen that certainly look very similar to these hydrogel filaments. And they also had a very close resemblance to Morgellons or cross-domain bacteria that, for example, Clifford Carnicom, who is actually present at this call, has been researching for more than 30 years. So what happened then, I actually had the honor to be a research partner of Clifford Carnicum, and we did a lot of different tests together. But one of the things that I also evaluated was not just the clots of those who had passed away from the shots, but Richard Hirschman, the embalmer, sent to me embalmed blood of somebody who was deceased more than 8 months ago. And I looked at this blood under the microscope and I found exactly the same filamental structures that we see in the regular blood. And the other thing that I filmed was continued self-assembly. So what you can see here is this embalmed blood, and right here, these round spheres continue to move. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. And you see that they are filled with these what's called micro-robotic structures that are blinking lights. Actually, they're emitting light. And if I just move this forward here, this is right now at 4 minutes, you can see how rapid the self-assembly continues to be, even though this individual is deceased. So this goes along with actually the finding in regards to the MAC address phenomenon that other colleagues around the world have found. By the way, this right here is a little metallic object, exactly like we saw in the Pfizer vials. And so, for example, there were doctors in Ecuador by the group of Comusav who went to evaluate the MAC address phenomenon that the vaccinated were emitting, and even found that there's continued emission after death from the graveyard. So this right here is a 4,000 times magnification, and you can clearly see this is a red blood cell. So the approximate size here of these blinking lights is maybe 500 nanometers. And because the diameter of a red blood cell is about 5 to 7 microns. So you can see that that certainly they're moving, they're mobile, and they're changing colors and emitting light frequencies. So quantum dot technology, which is used for biosensing application, does exactly that. It changes colors from red to blue to green. And through that is emitting certain signals and encoded information. And these nanosensors are exactly used within this intra-body area network.
That ghost never stood a chance. And that's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.